Most artists believe that cracking the top 1% of musicians in the industry is a pipe dream reserved for the hyper famous or those just willing to sell their souls to major labels. But what if I told you that the bar is actually lower than you think? You know, if you're going part-time, you don't actually need millions of streams. You just need to clear a small 5 figures in gross revenue a year to technically sit in that top tier. It's not going to be as difficult as you think. But by the end of this video, you'll know the exact metrics and structural blueprints to build a functioning, highly profitable music business at 3 different levels: part-time, full-time, and elite status. My goal is to help you understand that treating your music career as a strategic system built on customer conversion, live events, and licensing will be the key to unlocking that true financial freedom and audience growth that you so desire. Now, most artists have no clue what it actually takes to supplement or replace their day job income or how the numbers scale, leaving them completely without a goal to crack the top 1% of artists in this business. Without a number, you have no goal. You only have a vision, and a vision and a goal are 2 entirely different things here. Vision is a desired outcome. A goal is a desired metric for that outcome. See, slightly different, almost the same, not quite the same. So then your key is to understand your specific financial metrics and exploit high margin or low margin access points across 3 different types of artist segments, if you will. So you have the part-time tier, which is 10 to 20K a year, which is supplementing your income, and you are likely balancing a day job and a small core audience. Your focus is direct to fan selling high margin physical products, whether it be limited edition vinyl, custom merch, Bandcamp downloads, through 3 to 4 hyper targeted events per year, and continue with small email lead generation campaigns. At this stage, it's all about providing physical music solutions for your local market as well as online. So you got a little small thing going here. The full-time stage is roughly 200K to 500K a year. At this point, you're not working. You fully quit your job and you manage around 10,000 to 50,000 true fans, not 1,000, 10 to 50. Your vehicle shifts from rigorous touring, I'm talking about 20 to 100 dates a year. Real publishing and digital royalties are now starting to come in. You got your sync licensing money coming in anywhere from 2 to 10K every now and then, and recurring monthly revenue streams like Patreon or Discord VIP tiers. At this stage, it's all about maintaining the fan customer relationship and the saga of who you are. The elite stage, though, while being independent, is roughly $3 million to $5 million a year gross. That is 0.1% or the top 0.1% of the industry. You do hold down an entire subgenre. You may be the face of it. Here, the music is the lost leader for you. Spotify is not the end all be all for you. Your money comes from 6-figure festival slots and major brand endorsements and catalog valuations and capturing pro rata streaming pools. Note, major label status does require about $10 million a year for this position at the top 0.1%. But you can easily be a low priority major artist making less than $1 million. So independent elite status is the move if you're going to do it. You know what I mean? Because I personally would be cool with 3 to 5 million a year without the major label headache. These are the threats at each level, though. This is the downside. And these aren't all of the threats, but they can be shared between each level. They do rise and fall with each level in terms of severity. So you got to understand this. At the part-time level, your threat is this: artists are mostly robbed by the hope vampires. These are the predatory playlist curators charging you $50 to pitch a song, or fake PR agencies promising blog coverage and venues asking artists to pay to play. You know, people are still offering blog coverage. There's a bunch of broken promises simply because no one's really serious here. Now, blog coverage does make sense at a certain point, but probably not at your level, all right? Now, the full-time threat is actually something that I talk about all the time. This is where artists get robbed internally through self-infliction, the administration trap, because their money is coming from 15 different places all at the same time, and thousands of dollars get left in the black box royalties because they didn't register their songs correctly with global collecting societies. And royalties are operational funds to run your label. And many notice show and merch money start to get pushed back into the label to keep it running, which is a red flag. A lot of times you just can't keep up with the administrative pull of the label at that level, and then the money starts to get lost. But at the elite level, this threat comes from the system architects. Major labels, legacy managers, they're all taking a percentage here, a percentage there, 20% cut of that, even deals they didn't broker. and the predatory investment funds and the people buying up catalogs for cheap, or the artists taking loans, not understanding how to use the loans in the record label business. Essentially, percentages are robbing you in the future here by just the little deals you're doing here, there, and everywhere. But if you do all this right, you get to build an independent business doing what you love, whether you think you're part-time or moving towards elite status. Now, I understand streaming numbers do not power any of these levels 100%. All you have to do is look at the math. Social media gives you exposure. Streaming gives you a little bit of discovery, but your self-built events give you the bag. At the end of the day, customer conversion, live shows, and licensing are the exact same pillars driving every single tier. They just scale up as you grow. Now, once the numbers are defined, then the worry comes to mind like, oh, I'm gonna have to do more than social media content and Spotify ads to make this work, aren't I? And then you say, well, I don't wanna expose my life to the world. I mean, come on, man. Or you just cling to toxic perfectionism and hypervigilance because you want to hoard 100% of everything out of fear of being taken advantage of because of the level of exposure that you must use to generate that level of income. I get that this is a real problem for most artists. But the key is to create your world through a tightly defined narrative or story to eradicate these mental blocks. By anchoring yourself to a specific narrative, you control exactly what you expose. Fans just want to see your authentic character and mannerisms on social media. Furthermore, you must organically add team members who align with that vision. And this creates emotional access, emotional acknowledgement, and emotional achievement from the public to you. However, again, you define the narrative. And the way you display and convey that narrative keeps control of your exposure to what you can handle. You have to define these things before you press go. If you don't do that, your vision remains small, and a small vision equals a small team, which inevitably equals small revenue. You cannot hold on to all the money and expect to build an empire. And you cannot build an empire unless you expose it for the world to see and join. If you do it right, you will own a slightly smaller percentage of a significantly larger financial pie, allowing a real team to elevate your message and art, while the vision is not only seen and understood by the team, but by the public as well, ultimately allowing you to arrive at your financial goal. Now, if you think you have to be flawless to be seen, all you have to do is be vulnerable. Everyday people aren't perfect. They don't want perfection. They want a polished light to relate to, which means to some you will be imperfect. At the end of the day, if you block people out and you refuse to remain consistent with your narrative, then you won't make it past the starting line. So far we've covered the financial metrics of the 3 tiers and how to master your internal narrative, but this next part is where most artists and their teams lose their grip on the back-end operations. So stay with me. And side note, if you need a strong business foundation to run your record label on, grab my 60-day record label system to build a fully functioning record label with step-by-step instructions today. Now, it is hard to battle the algorithm, deal with expensive touring costs, and find a marketing budget and actually pull customer data out of tech platforms. Actually, it's not hard to do that. It's quite easy. You just gotta know what you're doing. But if you can build a strategic conversion funnel, then this becomes possible. So check it out. Let's talk about production and ads. You want to team up with a creative squad, whether it be producers and videographers, to keep content costs low and start micro investing $500 a month into marketing, scaling up to $1,000+ a month as soon as possible. And then when it comes to conversion engines, you want to post consistently on Meta using comment automation tools like ManyChat and YouTube, right? Capitalizing on description and comment section links to drive traffic to custom landing pages that collect emails from fans and or DJs if you're that advanced. And then we got to talk about the in-person stuff. Once you hit 20K followers on a platform, you want to start throwing your own self-promoted shows, but no more than, let's say, 90 days per each market to avoid exhausting your base. Once you scale past 100,000 followers, you want to activate or plan an 8-city run. If you don't do that, especially at the full-time level, you will fall directly into the administration trap with money flowing from 15 different places. Thousands of dollars will be completely lost in the global black box of unclaimed publishing royalties because you didn't audit and register your catalog properly. But once you get this together, you'll treat your streaming and publishing royalties as your foundational operational budget, freeing you from out-of-pocket investing and letting the business fund its own growth. And that's what we need. So if you think building an email list is outdated, all you have to do is actually use those emails to sell directly to your fans. If you only give people music without communication, they can't relate to you and they won't convert. At the end of the day, if you aren't willing to put in this operational work, then even making $10,000 a year from music isn't for you. So here's the challenge. Write down your target tier, whether it be 20K part-time, 200K full-time, or 2 million at the elite status, and circle your core focus. Develop your vision, the outcome for the market, and yourself once you hit that level. And then ask yourself this: is my social media content conveying a clear, structured narrative that people can actually relate to, or am I just throwing music at a wall? And then do this: map out your conversion funnel and set up landing pages to capture fan data immediately. The goal is to truly understand what a modern music business is and the types of high margin assets it contains. The real question isn't should you do this, it's how much longer can you afford not to. Now, if you need help with devising a strategy, book a call with me or join our group strategy calls every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time inside the Music Money Makers community. You can click below to join right now today. Well, why is there no focus on streaming? I mean, isn't that the main goal here? Well, streaming in the grand scheme of your entire business will account for roughly 10% of all your income at any level. The goal is to sell access, acknowledgement, and achievement as a product and an experience. Well, can a record label do all this for me? Because I mean, this is a lot for me to actually get and do, man. Well, record labels at heart sell music and push streams for them to maintain market share and cash flow for their books. Merch is bonus money for them. After that, they make money on owning shares in companies that exploit their music. So they could care less about how the indie music business does the things versus themselves. Even major indie labels think this way. It's up to you to build your business. So at the end of the day, if you were struggling with understanding the real financial milestones of escaping the bottom of the business, overcoming the fear of vulnerability and the trap of perfectionism, or converting baseline social media attention into actual email data and high margin event sales, well, then you now have the means to become the self-sustaining, highly profitable, independent label owner and artist that you've always wanted to be. Music Money Makers, if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, grab the 60-day record label system, book a call, join the Music Money Makers community, grab the free stuff right down beneath this video, watch this next video right here to save your career, and I'll see you next time. Peace.